Love as a lens in a time of trouble. I remember this day like it was yesterday. This was our first family portrait. I got to wear my favorite new suit. I'm 10 years old, but the thing I noticed the most about this picture is that I'm not wearing my glasses. This is significant to me because my glasses were the centerpiece of my childhood. It was the thing that set me apart from everybody in my family and most people in my class. I remember when I found out I had to wear glasses. Mrs. Evans was the teacher of my second grade class at Madison Academy. She noticed that I couldn't read what was written on the board. At that time, I liked to sit in the back of the class because that's where you could get away with talking. But no more talking, not with these. Glasses made me feel small and almost handicapped. But when my dad put them on, he made glasses cool. For him, glasses were a part of his job. In a way, they were part of his work uniform. He was an engineer at NASA. He was the first black engineer they hired back in the day. That was accomplished through an executive order from the president. To work as an engineer, he needed a master's degree. The local HBCU in our city, Huntsville, Alabama, was Alabama A&M University. Go Bulldogs. Incredible institution. Only then, they didn't have an engineering program as they do now. So my dad had to integrate the University of Alabama. These days, you hear the University of Alabama, you think Crimson Tide and Nick Saban. Back then, it was George Wallace. Discrimination on the basis of race was key to his political platform. He famously opposed racial integration with these words: segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. And this wasn't rhetoric. This was trouble. The day after Medgar Evers was assassinated in Jackson, Mississippi, my dad walked through those schoolhouse doors and integrated the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Dad wanted all of us to be engineers. I was the only one that took him up on it. I was desperate to get out of Alabama until I found engineering. So once I got my degree, I too decided to use my wins to equip others to achieve theirs, just like my dad. Then at Howard University School of Law, I learned that bias clouds your judgment and obstructs your vision. It's like driving in a storm with broken wipers. And you know what? It didn't matter where I went, whether I was clerking for a judge in DC, practicing law in New York, or teaching at Boston College. Wherever I was, the trouble of Alabama was always there. Just as I was beginning to gain his approval and earn his love, Dad died. The grief took me out. Someone said, grief is love with nowhere to go. And that was me. I was lost. I spiraled. My body completely shut down and I almost died. Most of my friends got their first taste of chronic illness during the pandemic. For me, it was when I lost my dad. But it wasn't a broken heart I almost died from. It was a lack of vision. But then something happened. One of those old hymns my dad grew up singing when he was getting ready for church came back to me. Tempted and tried, we're oft made to wonder why it should be thus all the day long, while there are others living about us, never molested, though in the wrong. Farther along, we'll know all about it. Farther along, we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. I should have been able to sing those words, but I couldn't. But that year, I changed my lens. From seeking approval to acceptance. From controller to composer. from hapless to hero, from performance to personhood. I reimagined myself from a place of wellness, no longer trying to change the world, but instead changing myself, accepting that everyone has the right to be just who they are. I found a new prescription for my life. There's no greater lens than love. Even from that mountaintop, the vision of that day when our children are judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Lyrics to the greatest social movement in modern history. And those aren't fighting words. That's a love language. I got so excited. All of a sudden, I could see it for myself. I started writing books about the hero's journey that grounded me in my purpose and reminded me that nothing that has happened to me has the power to disrupt my destiny. I reinvented myself and imagined myself through my favorite lens, the lens of love. I don't need glasses to see it, but just like my contacts, love stays with me at all times. Love is commitment. It's not lip service. It's work, not just good intentions. Love is lifelong and it's every day. My favorite place to experience love is on my yoga mat. Not love for everything. This love is grounded. It's a love for myself and my wellness first, and then others. I now work in the healthcare industry, helping others see their potential even in crisis. As a policy director, I partner with providers who specialize in public health crises occurring all across our country. Now I realize there's only one way to fight bad policy or get fair and just legislation passed. You have to collaborate. You have to get people who often disagree with you to see issues through a different lens. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. I may start with inspiration, my first lens, so that they can see the possibilities. Then I may try engineering, my second lens, so they can see simplicity inside hard problems. I may even try gospel music so they can see hope in the midst of a crisis. But the one lens that never fails is love. Through love, you can see your highest self in every experience. Everywhere we look, there's trouble. But through the lens of love, we all have the ability to look deeper inside our trouble and see ourselves. Then once we clear away our distraction, we'll see that anything and everything is possible. Thank you so much.